Hello and welcome back, divine women, women of light, healers, creators, teachers. Even if you're not a professional teacher, women have all of these tasks that are within their divine feminine and creative female nature. This is Dr. Wendy Rowley, and this is the Healing Enhancements for National Ancestors for Women, episode 3. In this one, I would like to talk about some of those words that I was just sort of defining us with. In our creative female energy, we have all of these amazing abilities: healing, nurturing, teaching, problem solving. I might have spoken about some of these in the previous videos, but I would like to particularly talk about our healing aspects and our spiritual aspects. Women are the creators of values in a society, believe it or not. If you need some boosting of your female self-esteem, in my Instagram account, I have a lot of quotes of Alienia that she has spoken over the years about women that are very inspiring and very beautiful and very elegantly said. And so you can look at those to get some upliftment. Like I say, being in a woman and turning on that creative female and sitting there and going through that energy field and looking at it in more detail with a group of women is so empowering. And our ability to nurture and heal is very, very long in history, very profound, very deep. In temples and in healing spas, and back in the primitive times of even pre-recorded history. I'm sure there were civilizations that were actually more evolved than we can previously even imagine. I don't think it's been the way recorded history has been portrayed to us. But anyway, I'm going to turn the floor over to Alienia and see what she will build upon with this. And then we will have the enhancement work or activation that you're getting used to the sound part of that. And if you remember, please like and subscribe, comment, and tell others about this free series for women and about this very profound work that will be spoken more about in the coming latter episodes of this 5-part series. It's going to build and let you see this larger picture of what we are capable of when we form together in intent and in benevolence in large groups. Okay? Oh, good day to you, dearest beings of light. This is Alienia of Cosmic Service, Pleiadian Mother of Sound. Peace be with you, peace be with you, and peace be with you. Why do we say things 3 times? Because the vibration actually it resonates to a different level of your energy field. You have your spine and your body and its timeline, as she has said in some of her recent videos, and your multidimensionality in the chakras 2 through 7. Then you have something called your 12 spirit bodies, which is like a hologram around you, and it goes back, this is lifetime 7, it goes back 6 lifetimes or spirit bodies that way and 5 that way to make up 12. And they go around you and look a lot like the flower of life. If you're familiar with that terminology, you can find a lot about that on the web. And then you have your central column with your interdimensional DNA that is often referred to as the seed of life. And so the metaphors of this energetic anatomy are actually sprinkled throughout ancient history, and a lot of that has come forward in people who have brought it forward in understanding, in intuitiveness, and in their guides. So you can explore the web and find out lots about your, as she mentioned, your unrecorded history, on the spiritual information level that is now coming out more. And there will be archaeological digs that will be revealing more and more, for the timing of that is ripe. So what we wish to speak about, though, is about your ability to be spiritual guides and healers. Women are the spiritual guides, the spiritual healers of mankind. It is your sacred task. Now, when you first came to this planet, you were not split between sexes of male and female. You were androgynous. And you came and divided into those, and you alternate through them in lifetimes. You're a woman for a long time, then eventually you transition and you become a man for a while. Then you transition and you become a woman again for several lifetimes. So there's a sprinkling of creational abilities that are actually learned in those two sexes that are different. But since we are a women's group and we are speaking about women, and we are doing enhancements at the level of national ancestors for your healing abilities, for your intuitive abilities to get deeper information or have different types of ahas, which will be another aspect of this work that you partake in if you do this series. You will have deeper intuitions of feelings, because some of the connections that are being made in your spirit body to the national ancestral level are, as we said in the previous episode, having to do with gold, and we'll expound more on that on the next episode. And that gold of the ancestral level is like a bridge energy to the master or Christ grid, where every evolved being who achieved a type of enlightenment and brought in great spiritual energy, wisdom. You might know the Master Jesus, who brought in the Christ energy and the Christ amazing things into the earth through that great being. We've mentioned the Christ being in other channels. It's an overarching energy that allows the return to spirit that every evolving planetary system has, some great oversoul that does that, which is a combination of several energies and beings that help. Archangels are involved with that. They allowed that Christ energy to come down into them to deeper debris, deeper levels. And so the women, through that ancestral, have a connection into the soul group level on the other side of the field, where you have your group soul level, where you operate more as tribes and nations. You have a connection to an intuitive channel there. You have a connection to the ancestral gold channel there. And you have a connection to future energetic intuition in that level. Those three things. We will expound a little bit more in detail in 4 and 5. But we wanted you to have this understanding that you are naturally divine, beautifully designed, and connected at your soul level to all of these things. Now, is the higher self connected? We have said the inner aura with your, which is the inner torus with your body and your aura, is connected to the higher self, and it contains your earth records. And the outer torus is your galactic records of all the things your soul has ever experienced in the wisdom and the teaching and the learning of its journey or sojourn through universes. And the higher self is the inner aura records. So is the higher self connected to the soul? Yes, indeed it is. So the higher self is partly connected to the earth and what you have learned here. And what you are doing is working through the puzzle of creating and learning creating and benevolence and learning aspects of the Creator, patience and loving kindness and mercy and doing the best and highest good and trying to help and trying to be understanding, and have compassion. And so that is part of the puzzle. It's harder to do when you first come to the planet and you have lifetimes. And you build a lot of your karma in the earlier stages of your time coming here through multiple lifetimes or incarnations, or which are all actually happening in the now, because you do not have time except for in your lifetime. That is where the component of time comes in. But when you are out of your body in between lifetimes, you are in space and dimensions. And you come into a lifetime and you engage in a type of what you term time. You will see in the future that time is actually very malleable, and you will learn to see time in a different way. But right now you see time in a linear way with a beginning and an end. So you engage in time, but your higher self is connected to that multidimensionality of the soul, and is connected to the benevolence and the ancestral gold, and it is able to access a lot more information of benevolence than you can possibly imagine. So when you do your alignment and your grounding to the earth, and your alignment to the cosmic, and your attunement in your heart to the creative forces, imagine you connect a line up to your higher self and invite your higher self to be part of your communion, to be part of your attunement to the divinity within you, to the highest and best good within you, and to your true nature, for your soul is actually fairly perfect. And so invite your higher self in is the suggestion that we make. And if you go up about 2.5 feet above your aura, this one learned this as a trick. She said, well, I'm having trouble. Humanity's hard. People to people is hard. Communication is hard. It's tricky. There's all these energies, and people get upset easily, and it's just tricky. But life itself is beautiful and benevolent. And yes, you have to make a living, and there's struggle and worry and all that normal stuff. But when you get to those moments where you're outside of that, it's benevolent. And you can have that as this grace, and you have those through moments of your lives, of your lifetime, where sometimes it's hard and you're in a little bit of a hole, and sometimes it's beautiful. So she said, but how do I stay in seeing that divinity in people? And she lives near the beach, and she started to just relax and watch people walk by. And she was drawn to something about 2.5 feet up above their head. And she found when she looked up there, her heart would just go, whoo, and she would be feeling that she was being uplifted. And she felt like she could almost sense their divinity. Of course, you pull your energy back into yourself. You give everything a little hello and let that vibration go out. Where you don't want to go out over to people and then come back, because you need to stay in your bubble. That's part of the training of energy management. That is part of also healing training. And it can be taught just as to learn how to manage your own energy, or it could be taught if you want to know the level of healing and how to do that for yourself and others. So this area that is about 2.5 feet above your crown chakra, this 7th chakra here up, is that space of heaven. It's a space that's actually outside this lifetime linear time. It is a space of dimension and space, and it is closer to soul, and it is closer to the level of the benevolence of the higher self. So if you tune to people, just giving a little hello while you stay in your own bubble with your own energy here, but you imagine you give it a hello, and it's physics. It goes out, it vibrates that form, and it comes back. And after a meditative state, when you are grounded and aligned and your energy is just in you and moving and you're attuned, you naturally will see these things in people without even giving it a hello. And this was the state she was in. So this is a place you can go to feel that human, compassionate level. And then above that space is another area where there is pure soul and pure supreme connection, because it's the bridge to the outer torus. And that place is often called the sound realm or the pre-angelic realm. We have said there are 2 levels in healing. You heal through deeper, denser, and then you heal through the creator heart, higher chakra level. And so that level of the pre-angelic is that upper level. And the sound realm is the level where you might be healing at national tribes and ancestors. So as women, when you are born in a woman's body, in these groups of incarnations that all happen in the now, as we were saying earlier, that there is no time there. So that's why you can heal through all of your history, all of your higher self's history, because there is no time in space and dimension. So you can heal anything from the past. Don't ever feel that anything you did in this lifetime is stuck, because you can shift it. So that ability to, through women's lifetimes, we have been a woman a lot, is a little bit more engaged in that higher pre-angelic realm because of those double connections we have been talking about through the heart, and the opening that you have that you can birth a child. That other side of that opening is the connections of the healing aspects and the intuitive aspects, and the connections to higher creational aspects that women have. So we just wanted to share that with you this day, so that you would see that you are magnificent, and that even if you were a curious male who wanted to listen to these recordings for women, you too have that aspect where you have been a woman and you are divine. And why is there so much confusion over sexes? We will talk about that a little bit also coming later. All right. You are dearly loved. Expect benevolence in all you do. And as you know, we do not return after the sound. And this one leads you back out after she does her sound work. Well, I hope our voice has not been too soft today. As we get the hang of this, doing a public recording. It was a big leap of faith for this one. A little scary to go out there and make these weird noises. But she loves the feeling of it, and she loves the healing work. So she's bringing this forward for the greater good of all. You are dearly loved. Expect benevolence in all you do, and we bid you adieu. All right. If you would, maybe bring that awareness back into present time, maybe come back down into that body. And the key of life and that grounding is to pull that spirit body that spirit, that higher self and soul into the present and be in the body. We spend a lot of time in early life trying to escape the body. And in the other half of life, when you get to be seniors and I've seen it with my grandparents and my parents, suddenly you don't want any of those escapes, wine or cocktails or cigarettes or any of those various distractions. And you just want to be here because you realize it's not going to last a lot longer. It's a funny thing, this life we have. Thank you for your time and listening. I hope you're getting a lot out of this on some level, at least feeling really amazing being a woman. And this was Healing Enhancements for Women for National Ancestors, episode 3. And I will see you in the next episode. If you can listen to the recording of the sound at least a couple times, that's great. And just be positive, neutral, certain. Practice grounding, aligning, attuning. Give your intention that you can do this. Go, yeah, I can. I'm connected. I'm divine. And your guides and healing guides and the angelics and all that you are will pull in and make that vibrational essence sing again in your soul for you. Thank you, and subscribe, like, and comment. Thank you.